Hello, how's it going? It's Atsu. So today we have a special guest, Chinatsu-san. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, so I've been following her for a very long time because her English is just amazing, spot on, top notch. You know, I can use all the adjectives to qualify her English. Her English is amazing.
Stop.
So I always wanted to do a bit of a collab with you to ask you some questions. So we've got a list of questions today. So I really want to do a deep dive into how you learned English because your English is just amazing. But before getting started,
Yes.
I think there are some people who don't know much about you. So if you could introduce yourself briefly, that would be great.
Hi guys, I'm Chinatsu. I'm also running a YouTube channel as well. It's called Chinatsu the Email, and don't ask me about the name. So now I live in Melbourne. I've been in Australia for like 10 years plus, I would say. I was like back and forth between Japan and Australia, so I can't really tell how long exactly I've been here. By the way, I was born and raised in Japan. I'm from Iwate. I'm a country girl, and I would say until I turned 20, I did working holiday. I had never been overseas properly.
That's what I wanted to hear because whenever I do a collab with somebody who went to international school, it's a little bit disappointing because it's very hard for the audience to apply what they did to their English studies. So I think in your case, your background is very similar to mine. In the sense that, you know, we grew up in Japan and didn't have many opportunities to talk in our childhood. So what made you interested in learning English? So what was the driving force?
I would say, you know, some people like music and some people like cooking and gardening, or I don't know. For example, I like dogs. But I think you don't need a solid reason for it. Like, I like English because I just love the sound. You know, some people study Italian because they love the sound and the culture. And in my case, I can't really tell like why, but I'm just fascinated.
Was there like a light bulb moment that, okay, English is what I wanted to study or something?
First of all, probably it's quite common, but I loved listening to music in English. Like, I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson, and he was huge in my youth.
Since when?
Junior high school.
Oh, junior high school.
I mean, so probably it was a good timing. You know, we started getting into English around the time, and and I was like, oh, I want to understand everything, you know, in each song. But obviously, I couldn't. And also, probably, as I said, I'm from a small town. I was longing for like, oh, I want to see a bigger world. And then I think English felt like, oh, probably it can give me some more opportunities for me to see the world. I don't know, but I can't really say.
So that was when you were in junior high school, you started feeling like maybe English could broaden your horizons in the future.
That's it, yeah.
But you didn't really have an opportunity to seriously dive into the world of learning English.
Yeah, that's it, because I had never met like English speakers properly, you know, probably the same.
Yeah.
I told you a couple of weeks ago, but I was more into piano that time, and I thought I would be a piano teacher or music teacher. And then I started junior high school, and I was like, oh, I like this. And I kind of knew I was good at it too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm jealous.
And I was like, oh, I enjoy it. And I'm not sure because I can't remember, but at that time, you know, I was reading textbooks and stuff, and I was like, oh, I think I'm good at it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that confidence, whether I was good at it actually or not, like, I think it gave me confidence. Like, oh, I can speak English.
Right.
And that's another thing, actually. Like, you don't have to be able to say, you know, smart things. Like, even like you can say good morning with confidence. It's already good.
Yeah.
So,
English is not as difficult as other subjects, in my opinion. Like, it's just a communication tool, basically, and there isn't like many calculations that you've got to do off the top of your head, there isn't much that complicated involved. So like many people have this perception that English studies seem very difficult, probably because of the way grammar and everything is being taught in class. But like if you look at it closely, it's not as hard, right?
I think I really want people to know that English is flexible. It's very flexible. I think it's a shame that a lot of people feel like, oh, I can't speak English, but actually you can.
And going back to your mentioning of you started learning how to play the piano, right? When was it? Was it when you were in primary school? Or?
Primary school, year one.
Right.
Did you say year one to
grade one?
Grade one,
yeah.
Grade one to until high school.
Until high school. Okay, wow. So
and I was quite into it. So
like 9 years, 10 years?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Because it's often said that like there is scientific evidence that there is a correlation between like your experience of learning how to play a musical instrument and like music in general with your ability to learn a second language.
Yeah.
So it could have made a slight contribution to...
actually, because I told Atsan that I was practicing piano for a while, and Atsan said that, oh, probably that's why, your listening skills kind of improved.
Yeah, your pronunciation is just spot on.
Look, the thing is, honestly, when it comes to pronunciation, I didn't do anything special.
Right. And I did a lot of things special. So.
But the thing is, I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm good at it, But one thing that it was like not intentionally, but what I was doing was like listening well. People listen, but there's a huge gap between listen and listen well. You need to listen very well, right?
What do you mean by listening well?
And it's funny because it's not like a technique, for example, okay, also it's not a formula as well. Okay, if you do 1 + 1, it equals 2 kind of thing. So when you listen, for example, Atsan, he is an expert of English, but he's still learning, trying to improve his English. And now you're doing like, how's it called? Like pronunciation?
Yeah, pronunciation lessons.
Like private lesson from Aussie.
From Australian pronunciation coach.
Yeah. So and then he taught me that. He taught me that. So one of my favorite expressions in English, it's fair enough. Fair enough. And in Australia, people don't really say like fair or like here or there. People say here or there, right?
The R sound at the end of a word is usually omitted.
Yeah. So let's say fair enough separately, and I'm correct, am I?
Yes, you are.
Fair enough. But if you combine those two words, it's gonna be fair enough.
Fair enough, right.
So there's a bit of like sound between fair enough. But I've been saying until I met Atsan in person.
That was a game changer.
You're a game changer. Actually, you changed my life. I've been saying fair enough. Can you see the difference? Fair enough. Fair enough. See, there's a bit of sound. But actually, I was not listening well. That's why I couldn't see, there's a bit of R sound. So actually, I was bad in this case. But this is the thing.
Right.
Like, can you hear it or not? Like, even like if you say fair enough, people understand it. And you can kind of proceed, the conversations. But
so basically what you're saying is hearing and listening are two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people like have this misunderstanding that being in an English-speaking environment will automatically make their English pretty good. But actually just hearing, not being attentive enough to the details of the sound that they are making is actually the cause of them not really being able to speak English after spending so many years in an English-speaking country. So like you've lived in Australia for a long time already, and I'm pretty sure that you've met some Japanese who've lived here about the same amount of time, or maybe even more, more than yours, but still struggling to, improve their English. And I think the difference between you and them is that like their awareness, like whether or not they are making conscious efforts.
That's it, yeah. But I think you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
The thing is because I love English and I think I'm kind of sensitive to just sounds. And actually, like I think another thing is, well, as I said, I love learning English. So it's like an endless, journey, isn't it? So I challenge accepted. Like I'll do it.
Yeah.
But once you can kind of communicate in English without trouble. Like let's say you've been in Australia for a few years and now you can communicate. A lot of people stop there. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay, but because learning English is my passion. So, probably most of the people, they want to use the extra energy for something else, in life. But in my case, I don't mind using extra time and energy for that thing. So that's me.
And I totally understand where you're coming from because, once you get to the point where you can communicate without having any issues, from that point onwards, if you don't try to improve your English, like all the effort that you're gonna put into learning English will be just for the sake of maintaining your current level.
That's it,
And feeling no growth in the process is very depressing.
Especially
it's not
got a growth mindset. Because you want to be better and better and better.
And that's where my passion and energy really comes from, this sense of achievement and growth.
That's
and if you don't feel it, like it's like running on a treadmill.
That's it.
Like
rat race.
hamster in a wheel. To avoid that, I think having this mindset that you always need to be better, even little by little, like slowly and steadily is completely fine, but feeling like a tiny sense of achievement every minute that you spend on learning English, I think is very critical.
That's it. And another thing is because we met a couple of weeks ago, and again, he's taking the private course, and he taught me some like pronunciation tricks. And for example, some words like advantages. Advantages. Am I good now?
Yeah.
Advantages. And then we've been learning English for many years, but still there's so many things like we can't master. Like there's so many things that we still have to,
I know, right?
smash, and then it's actually good. That's why learning English is so fun. But I think it's all about, again, I think it's the same thing. Like some people stop just there, which is fun. But if you want to go a bit further.
I really like the way you say again. Like it's not again, but it's again.
Oh, did I say it right?
I think that's right as well. There are two types of pronunciation for the word. And I think a lot of people say again, like usually, but like some people do say again. So I don't know where you picked it up, but like noticing all those small differences. But
not many people can talk about it for like hours about English, you know what I mean? But for us, it's just fun. Like small findings and like again, small achievements. It's just so fun. I love it.
So going back to the topic of today's video, which was how you learned English, right? So you started learning piano, and you started being interested in learning English in your in junior high school, right? But when was the point when you started seriously learning it?
I would say in junior high school, what I did was pretty much just reading textbooks and doing a bit of extra.
What was the extra?
Extra, for example, did you have the notebook, like you write like tomorrow's schedule?
Okay.
Diary kind of thing. And we had to write like 3 lines diary.
In English?
No, in Japanese. But I did extra English one, like at the very end.
In junior high school?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did anyone tell you to do that? Or?
No. But I wanted to do it, and the teacher who was looking after us, she was a history teacher, but she always commented me. She left a comment in English, like a good job or like sounds great or something like that.
Was it because she knew that you were learning English?
Yeah, it's so sweet. To be honest, in junior high school, I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know about shadowing or like chants, listening to chants or kikutan or something like that. I didn't do anything special. But when I started high school, well, pretty much the same thing that you did in school, like juken benkyo.
Yeah.
So hard, but nothing really special. Like I didn't go to any like English private lessons or anything like that. Just I was good student.
Right. So doing the juken benkyo was the first time when you started like intensively learning.
Intensively, yeah. It was probably the same with you. Like it was more for juken. Did
you have a chance to speak at all during the phase of preparing yourself for the exam?
Not much, just for interview.
So in high school you couldn't really communicate in English, but just had to cram a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, that's it. And I actually tried shadowing at the time, but did.
Just did.
No, I couldn't do anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't understand the system as well. So
you have to have a specific purpose before implementing it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it, and because I knew that I had to do the interview in English, so I practiced a little bit, but I still remember that I just couldn't say much. It frustrated me so much, but I didn't know how to do it, because I think this is what a lot of people go through. You want to speak, but you don't know how. Do you think that juken benkyo was helpful in establishing foundations for your future learning, or did it help at all? Probably I don't want to deny it, because now I can read in English comfortably, but thanks to all the readings and stuff. And I think I'm not really good at using different vocabularies like Atsu-san, to be honest, but I can read and I can understand. But probably it's because I did intensive kikutan, chant, I don't practice or whatever. So I would say yes, but we really have to understand that it's a bit different. Do you agree, or
different to practical English?
Actually, I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, like grammar rules, for instance, that we are taught in class are the same as grammar rules that we apply in practice as well. So I think compulsory education and like juken benkyo are pretty useful in like establishing the fundamental part of learning English. But like I said, grammar rules pretty much the same. Vocabulary that you learned from like those typical vocabulary books are in use actually. Like living here, probably you notice people are actually using them. Example sentences might be a different issue because they are pretty like academic focused mostly. So.
And also the problem is there's like a Koubun Anki. And I don't think it's bad because I did it too. But the thing is, in real life, it's actually hard to customize it in your own way. While you speak, because you've got something you want to say, and it doesn't match with the example sentences all the time. And some people might start with it's like a puzzle, isn't it? I put this piece in and stuff. It actually takes time.
True.
So sometimes what I regret was when I was studying English in Japan, I didn't allow myself to make any mistakes. Always, there is koubun, so you have to put the right word. And if you can't do it right, then you're wrong. But it's okay.
It's okay to make mistakes.
And also, as I said, English is flexible. And actually fixing it later is much easier. I don't know how you feel about it, but...
Yeah, I believe so. And also I think it's very important to have this ability to rectify yourself by yourself, if that makes sense. Know what I mean? Like nobody will correct your English for living in an English-speaking country. So you can make mistakes, but at the same time you have to have an eye for identifying mistakes that you are making while talking.
That's it.
So like while talking you're like, oh shit, I made mistakes. But like it's okay, like you can correct it after finishing the conversation. Like when you're by yourself, you can repeat the same same sentence, correcting them, being conscious about it, and then repeating again and again so that you don't make the same mistake. And I think that's the advantage of being an adult, right? Like we can think about it.
That's true. I think a lot of people are waiting for someone who is like kind of higher than them, like or smarter than them, fix it. So they always, I mean, I was like that before. Like, oh, my English is not good. Oh, tell me everything. But people don't tell you what to do.
It's so inefficient as well.
That's it. Yeah.
Having to have somebody else, a third party, to correct your English, it'll be endless.
Yeah, sorry. So I think you also need the courage to suss out, you know, okay, this is right. Okay, I need to fix this. I like this. I don't like this. So if you've got the fixed mindset, then I think it's hard. It's hard to get out of that, you know, trap, I would say.
So I'd like people to like think of what they learn in class as a way to build this mechanism that allows them, that enables them to rectify themselves in the future. So it's just a way or tool that allows for the best efficiency in their learning process in the future, if that makes sense.
That's it.
So rather than like using them directly to communicate, but like rather like having that like guidebook in your mind is really helpful in the future. But speaking wise, not great. So I'm pretty sure that you broke through it and you had a paradigm shift in your English learning journey at some point after that preparation phase. What was the moment?
Okay.
What did you actually do to change yourself and you know get to what you are now?
Yeah, I would say it took a while for me because I think I was a perfectionist and I had a strong fixed mindset. Okay, I have to speak like this, and especially because I was so like serious about Juken. So I also didn't understand how English is used in real life as well. So I have to say it took a while. So I can't really tell my viewers, to be honest. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm not the best person to has achieved like English brain like quicker. It took a while for me. But actually, when I started the job, like current job, which I started 6 years ago, I think my English was not that great at that time. But you know, when it comes to work, you have to do it. You can't say, oh, I can't speak English, you know.
You have no choice.
No, and especially that was the environment where I couldn't use Japanese in Australia. My previous workplace was like mix of Japanese people, like you know, their parents are Japanese, so I was always able to look for help, but not this workplace. And that pressure actually made me go like, okay, I have to do this, right? And then I think I kind of started allowing myself to speak imperfect English. And then the thing is, people understand me. And because I like learning English and I want to improve it constantly, so if I make a mistake, I go like, oh, I didn't say it right, so I will fix it. And I fix. 6 years, constant fixing. And I'm still fixing. So I would say the experience that I got to know like, oh, making a mistake, it's really like, it's not a big deal. And actually my English is not too bad. So I think at work, again, I think just a small kind of wins, like, oh, I said it wrong, but people understood me. But because I don't like it, I will fix it next time. And then it's also conscious listening as well. Not about pronunciation, but more about the phrases that people use. I started listening more consciously. For example, in retail, you can say, can I help you at all? Can I help you at all? Can I help you at all? I didn't learn it back in school. But then first, I couldn't understand at all first. But then I was like, oh, it is at all, right? And then I will use it. And then after that, I was like, hey, can I help you at all? Or like, what are you after? What are you after? And I thought, that's so cool. I'm gonna use it. So yeah, it's a work. I know it's hard it's difficult for a lot of Japanese people.
I did exactly the same thing when I was at Deloitte.
Yeah,
Copying people's phrases and incorporating them in my sentences,
Yeah.
so that I can make my English sound more similar to what others speak.
Yeah.
So that like I can mingle better
That's
and
it,
like
yeah.
you know be part of the culture, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then just don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Just use it. And if you make a mistake, it's fine. You know, people just say sorry, and then you can just say it again or fix it and say it a different way.
So was that the phase where you think that your English dramatically improved? Your work experience?
Something
happened.
Something happened. Something happened, and it felt great.
And I'm pretty sure that like that something wouldn't have happened without your effort that you put in, like while you were in Japan studying English. So I'm pretty sure that like it became a very strong foundation for it to come out.
Yeah.
You just needed that experience.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but like without having any fundamentals, it would have been a completely different experience.
Yeah,
I'm
it
pretty
could have
sure.
been
Yeah,
hard,
like
yeah.
so, you know, it's a phase where you start connecting all the dots. Right,
that's
in your
it.
head, know what I mean?
And then at some point, they all get connected. And then you go like, oh, that's why I've been working so hard. You know, this is why I've been working hard for this. And I still remember, I actually, I don't know which year, but I was on the way home from work, and I was walking and I was like, oh, actually I was not afraid of speaking English, thinking like, oh, which phrase to use or something like that. Like, I'm not sure if I did it well, but I was speaking English.
Yeah, great feeling.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And I really want people to feel it too, because it feels so good. And I think it's possible for anyone, because, you know, we grew up in Japan, and I thought it would be impossible for me to get here, because I didn't grow up with English. But now, you know, we're not really thinking about Japanese at all, right? Like, it's really smooth, but it's possible. Yeah.
So I can definitely relate to your experience of like having to cram lots of knowledge is very boring and you don't really see yourself getting there. But if you immerse yourself in an environment where English is spoken and you have to force yourself to output what you've crammed, that's when you start feeling that breakthrough, and that's the moment when you think that, okay, your effort didn't go to waste at all.
It's like,
Yes, I often say that there are two different phases in English studies if you take a step back. And in the grand scheme of things, two layers. So the first layer is the phase where you study English, right? And the second phase is the phase where you start using English to do something different. You know what I mean? So in my case, I studied English a lot in Japan, and then came to Australia to study accounting and became an accountant to work as a professional. And that was the second phase. So like a lot of people have this mindset that, okay, I've got to study English throughout the rest of my life. But like, yes, you have to keep learning, but it's different from like using a textbook and you know, keep learning in the same way.
Yeah, that's it.
After reaching a certain level, you have to dive into the actual like practical, pragmatic world where you start applying. You have lots of opportunities to apply what you learned to real life.
Like, it's a shame a lot of people go back to study again. Like they lose confidence and then, oh, I can't speak English, and then they go back to like study. But you have to do something differently to go to the next level. As you said, I think that too, you know, a lot of people just go, but just go.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah,
and sometimes coming back here is
it's okay.
It's okay. I think sometimes it's needed because like you tend to become like very complacent about your English. You know, after being in that environment, because like you're confident enough to communicate and you know that, okay, my English is already pretty good, probably I don't have to do the English studies anymore. But like when you come back to that phase and then do a bit of studies, like you realize that, oh, actually there were quite a lot of missing pieces.
That's it,
Yeah, and then you start collecting them again and put them together and then come back to the real world. And then going back and forth is pretty effective.
Effective, like especially if you go to the next level. Yeah, like you.
Because in my case, for instance, I'm taking pronunciation lessons and I learn a lot every time. And I wouldn't have actually noticed those like small tiny differences when I was learning in Japan. So like coming back here, gaining knowledge, going back, then like going back and forth, this is pretty good.
It's good. And you know the thing
Like
is,
the vocabulary.
again, look, people don't tell you what to fix unless you go to that kind of private lesson.
Absolutely. You have to pay for it too.
You have to pay for it. He's paying quite a bit. I can't afford it. Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, so we talked quite a lot about how to approach English, and the way you learned English definitely resonated with the audience, I'm pretty sure. And last but not least, do you have a message for the audience, for people who are learning English now?
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you're going to use this part or not, but
I will.
as I said, I was born and raised in Japan, and I just went to a public junior high and high school. And I tell you, like when I was younger, I thought it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Like, oh, I don't think I can speak English. I mean, I might be able to, but like not like this. But like, if you want to, you can. It's always you who stop you from achieving something. Especially in this generation, it's quite difficult because you hear so many noises. Okay, you should do this, you can't do this, you can't do it. But in the end, you decide what to do, what you use and what you study and how you study. Like believing in yourself, and like anything is possible. If you stop there, that's it.
Right.
Okay? If you keep going, you never know where you're gonna get. And I'm still surprised, like what's happening in my life now. I'm speaking English with accent like this, and it's possible.
Thanks for saying that.
So, and honestly, like anything is possible. And if you love it, just go for it.
Right. If you love it, just go for it.
Go for it.
That was a good punchline for sure. All right, thank you so much for coming to my channel.
No, thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.